So far, so good, but there's no guarantees. I won't be comfortable until I hit one of my trails off the cabin.
Marty Meierotto of Mountain Men faced the worst situation anyone could imagine. He went from being one of the most popular cast members on Mountain Men to living through tragedy. His successful career took a hit, and everything changed for the worse. How did Marty deal with the painful moments in his life? Did he manage to make a comeback from the hardship he faced? This is the story of Marty's life and how he stood strong against the wild. Stay tuned. Life in the wild. Marty Meierotto came into the world on the 10th of July, 1966, in the northern woods of Wisconsin, United States. His parents, Thomas and Karen, passed down to him a love for the wild. From an early age, Marty was drawn to the family's fur trapping trade. Alongside his brothers, Jeff and Steve, he spent his boyhood roaming through cold forests, chasing animals that most kids would run away from. After finishing both elementary and high school, Marty decided not to continue on to college. Instead, he chose to work with his family in the fur business. But soon, he realized that Wisconsin offered very little opportunity for a trapper. The competition was tough, and the animals were few. So, in 1985, Marty and his brother Jeff packed up and drove to Alaska, chasing a dream. What they discovered there changed everything. Alaska was untamed, rich in wildlife, and breathtaking in its beauty. At first, the plan was to stay only for a short while, but the land pulled them in. Marty couldn't let go of it. To fund his trapping goals, he worked wherever he could, cleaning floors as a janitor in Fairbanks, cutting trees as a logger, and even taking on construction jobs. But whenever he found a free moment, he was out in the wilderness, laying traps. Life in Alaska was harsh, yet Marty embraced it. He saved enough to buy his first tent and trap, and later built a small cabin, just big enough to keep the freezing winds out. His trap line stretched for nearly 200 miles north of Fairbanks, and he endured winters where the temperature plunged 40 degrees below zero. Friends couldn't understand why he chose such hardship over comfort, but Marty wasn't chasing comfort. He was chasing a life he loved. Trapping, firefighting, and early adventures. Marty's journey was never just about trapping. It was about survival, grit, and following passion wherever it led. In 1994, he joined the Alaska Fire Service as a smoke jumper. Over the years, he recorded more than 300 jumps and responded to over 100 wildfires. His firefighting career, however, had begun even earlier, in 1988, when he worked as a wildland firefighter with the Chena Interagency Hotshot Crew. Out of 8 recruits in his class, only 4 made it through the punishing training, and Marty was one of them. Flying was another passion that tied perfectly into his rugged lifestyle. He dreamed of being a pilot, and Alaska gave him that chance. During the summer months, when trapping slowed down, Marty shifted gears and worked as a smoke jumper, parachuting into burning forests. The work was dangerous, but it gave him extra income to support his wife and daughter, and it fed his adventurous spirit. Through countless frozen nights in his one-room cabin, Marty's unique way of life eventually caught the eye of the History Channel. They couldn't believe someone could live like this, and they wanted to share it with the world. In 2012, Marty appeared on the reality series Mountain Men. Audiences were captivated. His dedication, his survival skills, and his raw love for Alaska turned him into a fan favorite. He became one of the most recognized faces on the show. But the real mystery still lingers. If the world loved him so much, why did he walk away from television at the height of his fame? Stay tuned, because Marty Meierotto's story is far from ordinary. Mountain Men, A Journey into the Wild. Mountain Men premiered on May 31st, 2012, instantly capturing the imagination of audiences across the globe. From the very first episode, viewers were drawn into a world far removed from the conveniences of modern life. A world defined by rugged wilderness, unyielding landscapes, and the extraordinary individuals who choose to live in harmony with nature's raw forces. Unlike typical reality shows that focus on drama or scripted storylines, Mountain Men offered a genuine glimpse into the daily struggles, triumphs, and raw realities of life in isolation. Fans were hooked not just on the thrill of adventure, but on the sheer courage and resilience required to survive in some of the harshest conditions imaginable. Each season promised a combination of bushcraft, hunting, survival tactics, and the enduring human spirit, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. With each new season came familiar faces and potential newcomers, each bringing fresh perspectives to the wilderness. The cast's adventures are intense and often life-threatening, offering heart-pounding encounters with nature, harsh survival decisions, and moments that test both physical endurance and mental fortitude. Among these cast members, Marty Meierotto stood out, giving audiences a rare, unfiltered glimpse into a life few ever experience firsthand. But Marty was far from alone. The series also followed Tom Orr, Eustace Conway, Preston Roberts, Jake Herrick, Brett Bone, and Mike Horstman, men who, in their own ways, embodied the true spirit of survival and independence. Eustace Conway, for example, resides on a parcel of land nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. He calls it Turtle Island, a place where he welcomes guests eager to learn basic wilderness survival skills. Conway's approach is both traditional and practical, relying on ancient techniques to harvest firewood, build shelters, and live sustainably off the land. Tom Orr, another pivotal cast member, lives near the Yak River in northwestern Montana with his wife Nancy and their loyal dog Ellie. Tom is a master tanner of game animal pelts, using natural Native American methods passed down through generations. His connection to the land and its creatures runs deep, reflecting a profound respect for the environment he calls home. Jake Herrick, a mountain lion hunter from Montana's Tobacco Root Mountains, became a fan favorite for his precision, patience, and fearless approach to tracking dangerous wildlife. Since joining the series in 2018, Jake has displayed not only his hunting expertise, but also a unique personal journey. His father's battle with cancer profoundly shaped him, inspiring him to seek solace and purpose in the solitude of the wilderness. In 2021, he took another life milestone by proposing to his longtime girlfriend, Annika Ward, blending personal growth with his rugged lifestyle. Then there is Mike Horstman, an Alaskan legend born on December 19, 1954, who has spent more than 40 years living on Kodiak Island. From his remote coastline cabin, accessible only by boat or plane, Mike has guided bear hunts for decades, honing skills that most can only dream of. As a child, he learned the ways of the outdoors from his uncles and developed a lifelong passion for hunting. Over the years, he mastered survival in one of the most isolated and challenging terrains in North America, making him a living icon of wilderness expertise. Marty Meierotto, however, remains a central figure in the series. His life as an independent trapper in Alaska embodies the essence of what Mountain Men aims to portray. Marty's days are filled with setting and monitoring trap lines for minks, beavers, rodents, and wolverines. His routines, while seeming extreme to many viewers, are simply part of the life he loves. From his childhood fascination with the outdoors to flying a bush plane across the vast Alaskan wilderness, Marty's skills and resilience shine through every episode. Every episode of Mountain Men showcases the cast facing dangers head-on. From their dogs tracking and deterring bears to building cabins across hundreds of miles of treacherous terrain, viewers witness true perseverance. The show has consistently received strong ratings, with IMDb awarding a 7.3 and Rotten Tomatoes giving an 80% score. Beyond accolades, the series also provided financial stability for its cast. While life in the wilderness might seem devoid of luxury, each member earns a substantial income for their unique skills and dedication. Tom Orr, appearing in every episode, earned $15,000 per episode, while Eustace Conway makes an annual income of $130,000. Jake Herrick, earns $10,000 per episode, and Mike Horstman, one of the oldest cast members, holds a net worth of $500,000. These figures reflect not just fame, but the recognition of years of hard work, mastery of survival, and the ability to thrive in isolation. Marty's contributions, however, go beyond financial numbers. His approach to survival is meticulous and inspiring. He builds his cabins alone, manages his trap lines, and traverses the Alaskan wilderness with expertise. While many would shy away from such challenges, Marty embraces them as part of his identity. He has fended off wolves, navigated extreme cold, and hunted skillfully, all without compromising his respect for the animals and the ecosystem. In 2013, Marty's heroism extended beyond the camera. Bill Heavey, visiting Marty in the Alaskan wilderness, found himself lost and in danger. Marty's quick thinking, survival knowledge, and unwavering calmness helped save him from potentially life-threatening conditions in negative 30-degree temperatures. Marty's wife, Dominique, also played a critical role, demonstrating the close-knit support system behind the independent trapper. These real-life events reinforced Marty's impact, proving that Mountain Men was more than entertainment. It was a showcase of courage, intelligence, and humanity in extreme conditions. Through all the challenges, Marty's story is a testament to resilience, skill, and the deep connection between humans and nature. He inspired countless viewers to respect the wilderness and admire the tenacity required to thrive within it. Marty and his fellow cast members are not just survivalists. They are symbols of the enduring human spirit, reminding us that with determination, knowledge, and courage, we can face even the harshest environments head-on. The heartbreaking tragedy. Even after achieving fame through Mountain Men, Marty Meierotto's life in the wilderness was far from simple. The camera captured only a glimpse of what he faced. Behind the scenes were nights filled with fear. The kind of fear that gnaws at your bones when you know that outside your cabin, predators and the harsh Alaskan elements wait silently. There were moments when Marty found himself completely alone, stranded, and unsure if he would make it to the next sunrise. Many fans had no idea that this rugged outdoorsman had stared danger in the face countless times, including a near-fatal plane crash that could have ended everything he loved. In the episode Close Call of the Mountain Men, viewers held their breath as Marty's small Super Cub airplane, outfitted with tundra tires to endure the frozen Alaskan terrain, experienced a terrifying downward nosedive. He had been surveying his animal traps, a routine he had perfected over years, when suddenly the plane began to falter. Marty's skill as a pilot was tested to its limits. He stabilized the aircraft and managed a safe landing, but the relief was short-lived. He was alone, in freezing darkness, far from help, and without any gear to survive the night comfortably. During that winter, Marty had no choice but to rely on his instincts. His solitary cabin, a few miles from the Dranjike River, on Alaska's northern slope, became both a refuge and a prison. He scavenged for food, preserved every morsel, and stayed alert for threats from both nature and the isolation that can weigh heavily on the mind. From that experience, he learned critical lessons, which later inspired him to build a snowmobile designed to handle the unforgiving conditions. But even that innovation came with challenges. It required at least 4 inches of snow to function properly. Marty would often stop mid-ride, scoop handfuls of snow, and pack it around the heat exchanger to prevent overheating. Simple survival required constant attention, patience, and creativity. Danger was never far away. On Alaska's Kodiak Island, while hunting mountain goats, a species known for navigating steep cliffs and rocky terrain, Marty stumbled upon enormous bear tracks. Though the goats were plentiful, he immediately recognized the seriousness of the situation. A brown bear, at least 9 feet long, had passed through the area. With only his rifle for protection, Marty knew he had to be cautious. He recalled chilling stories of other outdoors men who had encountered bears and lost their lives. Every step into the wilderness carried risk. and every decision could mean the difference between survival and tragedy. Tragedy was not only a matter of wildlife encounters. Marty endured the heartbreak of losing friends and fellow cast members. The passing of Preston Roberts in 2017 was a devastating blow. Preston, a legendary outdoorsman, had inspired many through his courage, skill, and generosity. Diagnosed with an inoperable tumor on his liver, his life ended far too soon. Marty honored him with an emotional tribute, recounting Preston's kindness and selflessness, and helped raise over $110,000 to support Preston's family and complete a home project he had been working on. Experiences like this forced Marty to confront the fragility of life and reconsider the dangers of his chosen path. Was the wilderness worth the risk? Did the constant exposure to extreme conditions threaten his health or life? Were the controversies surrounding his trapping methods putting him in unnecessary danger? Indeed, Marty faced scrutiny from the outside world. Animal rights organizations publicly criticized him, claiming his trapping caused undue suffering. They argued that modern humans no longer need to hunt for survival. Marty, however, responded with calm determination. He explained that his work as a trapper was not about cruelty, but about maintaining ecological balance in Alaska. He meticulously followed regulations, selected humane traps, and hunted only during legal seasons. Still, critics argued that the reality show exaggerated situations for drama. Fans, however, defended Marty, insisting that every moment captured on screen reflected the authentic hardships, struggles, and victories of a man living fully in the wild. Despite all these challenges, the wilderness remained Marty's sanctuary. The frozen mornings, the silence of untouched forests, and the occasional growl of distant animals became the rhythm of his life. The cold tested him physically, but it also strengthened his spirit. Every snowstorm, every long night, and every moment of solitude taught him patience, resilience, and the profound beauty of a life lived deliberately. For Marty, Alaska was not a place of isolation. It was a place of freedom. Away from the intrusions of modern life, he discovered the simple joys of survival, the warmth of a fire after a long day, the satisfaction of a well-set trap, the quiet companionship of nature. Marty Meierotto's story is more than a tale of survival. It is a testament to courage, perseverance, and the human ability to adapt in the face of relentless danger. He faced fear head-on, endured tragedy, and met controversy with integrity. Through it all, he carved out a life that, while harsh, was fulfilling, a life in which he found freedom, purpose, and joy in simplicity. In the snow, the silence, and the struggle, Marty lived his dream fully, teaching fans that true strength comes from embracing both the beauty and the brutality of the natural world. Marty family. When Marty Meierotto stepped into the spotlight, many wondered if he had a family. Some doubted that anyone could embrace the rugged, isolated life he led. Yet Dominique Meierotto proved them all wrong. She left behind the comfort of city life to join Marty in the cold, untamed wilderness of Alaska, trusting his decisions and supporting his dreams. They met while Marty was conducting business in the state, and after several years of dating, they married. Together, they have a daughter named Noah Jane Meierotto. Family has always been Marty's anchor. After long, grueling days tending traplines and cabins, the thought of returning to his wife and daughter kept him going. He cherished the quiet moments, sharing dinner, talking by the fireplace, laughing together. Dominique and Noah became his motivation, his reason to push forward even during the toughest days. As Marty gained fame on the History Channel, fans admired his courage and dedication. Critics debated the show's realism, but viewers were captivated by his authenticity. Yet, after 8 seasons, Marty announced his retirement in 2019. Fans were puzzled. Why would the fearless mountain man step away from the cameras? Marty revealed that his priority had shifted to spending time with Noah, who was 13 at the time. Life in Alaska was demanding, and Marty did not want cameras intruding on the private bond he shared with his daughter. Whether tending traplines, hunting mountain goats, or constructing cabins, he wanted Noah to learn and explore without the pressure of constant filming. For him, family came first. He emphasized that he was not giving up his dreams. Trapping was their way of life, and he intended to pass that knowledge to Noah, teaching her how to hunt and survive in the wilderness. Saying goodbye to the show was difficult for fans. Marty had become a favorite, a heart of mountain men. Yet his choice was clear. He wanted a life of peace, privacy, and meaningful family moments. Years passed without public appearances, but Marty never disappeared. He continued living in a small Alaskan town, raising his daughter, and trapping fur in the woods. The cameras had always been secondary to his love for nature and his family. He had started the journey for the wild, not for fame or ratings. As the second original cast member to leave during the 8th season, after Tom Orr, Marty's exit was felt deeply by fans. Yet he explained his decision with clarity and heart. "I thought a lot about it, and that's the decision I made. It's going to be the best for me and my family. I've been doing this my whole life, and for the past 8 years, I've had a camera with me at all times. I'm glad we got to tell a story, and I hope it's helped people understand what it's really like out here." Family mattered as much as the wilderness. Marty wanted to be present, a husband and father first, a trapper second. At the end of the day, I'm just a trapper. When you're lying on your deathbed, you won't be thinking about money or jobs. You'll be thinking about what you've done with your life. Noah is now 20, embracing the same love for Alaska and adventure as her father. Marty continues to focus on her training, instilling resilience, courage, and a passion for the outdoors. While fans miss him on the show, they recognize the importance of his choice. Marty Meierotto remains a symbol of determination, independence, and love for both family and the wild. A true mountain man in every sense. Marty Meierotto's story is one of courage, adventure, and heart. From the icy wilderness of Alaska to the warmth of his family cabin, he showed the world what it truly means to live life on your own terms. More than a mountain man on television, he is a father, a husband, and a man who thrives in the wild. He faced danger, loss, and controversy, yet never wavered from his path. Today, Marty lives quietly with Dominique and Noah, sharing his love for the land and teaching the next generation the ways of the wilderness. His journey reminds us that true strength comes not from fame or fortune, but from passion, perseverance, and the simple joys that make life worth living.